of all, I put God first. When I knew I had to become a single parent, I accepted the role, and I was determined that all three of my sons was going to be successful, no matter what it took.
What's going on, everybody, man? It's Gohard Mentality Podcast, and I am your host, Gohard, man. I am super excited. We got our first guest on the show, and it is none other than my mother. What better way to start the show with a guest than with my mother? So go ahead and introduce yourself and get some history about yourself.
Hi, I'm LaRonda Teasley. I am JC Gohard mother, and some people call me Pookie. Some people call me LA, but I'm an entrepreneur and a truck driver and all those good things. But overall, I love being called mom. So that's what I got for you.
Absolutely. So go ahead and tell us where you're from and what was it like growing up?
Oh, wow. I'm originally from a city called Clarksville, Tennessee. It's by the base of Fort Campbell, Kentucky. What it was like growing up, I am the baby of four girls. And when I say the baby, I'm a baby. It's like 10 years plus difference between me and my sisters. But growing up, just watching them, uh, they taught me a lot. They taught me the good, the bad, and the ugly, the things not to do, what to do. But overall, I think just growing up, just watching people, being around older people, that's what made me become who I am, because wisdom brought me a long way.
So I think watching pretty much growing up and watching you raise three boys and how you did it, what do you think was your biggest success raising three boys?
My biggest success, I tell people, I don't feel like I raised my sons on money. I raised them more on knowledge. I always spoke life into them. All three of my sons, I call them kings from a baby up. The first 5 years of any child's life can determine their future.
Absolutely.
And when I say that, I mean what they see is who they become. So if they see you a hard go-getter, they see you wanting more, fighting for more, going outside of the norm of a family, then they'll become that. So just raising three sons, it wasn't easy. It definitely was not easy. But people say I make it look easy. First of all, I put God first. When I knew I had to become a single parent, I accepted the role, and I was determined that all three of my sons was going to be successful, no matter what it took. And it took me sometimes to move them around, move them away from family, friends, just to get them where they are today. And sometimes I feel like it was a bad thing, but as grown men, I see actually the way I raised them was very good. I just tell people the biggest thing is be in your kids' lives. Um, Whether it's 5 minutes, show up. Uh, I was a workaholic. I worked a lot, but I did a lot to strengthen my kids the way that I wanted them to be strengthened. Like, even though I was working football games, I might have not made it there the whole 4 quarters, but I made it there. Because one thing about children, if they look up and they see you, um, that helps. That helps. We can give money all day long. We can feed them with gifts all day long, but that being there, that being that parent, means a lot more. Being transparent.
Yeah. You said something about moving us to different areas, and I think that was one of the best things you could have done as a parent. I was just talking to a little bro about this. Being moved to so many different areas didn't allow us to join gangs or become a part of some of the street stuff that went on, because one minute we're living in this territory, the next minute, maybe not inside the territory, but the area, the next minute we're living in this territory. And it was like, okay, I'm not going to be able to get down with these people and then be living over here. And so I think that was a blessing for us, in disguise. You also said that it was tough raising three boys. What was tough about it? I know I was tough. I know I gave you some problems, but
You was my toughest.
yeah.
But 3 different personalities. Having to learn each one of you.
Mm.
I couldn't treat you all the same because I sit back as a parent and I paid attention to you all. Like I still do to this day,
Yeah.
even though you're grown. I pay attention to how you move. I pay attention to your likes. I couldn't give you a a guitar knowing that you like football.
Yeah.
I couldn't give your brother football knowing he liked to play guitar. So I had to learn each child. So that's why I say it was tough because raising 3 boys, I want you to be all 3 of you to be athletes, and
Yeah.
that's what I did.
Yeah.
I put a ball in all 3 of your hands and said, I need all y'all to pick and choose a sport. And when I recognized who could play football, who could play baseball, who could play certain sports from like 4-year-old and up, all 3 of y'all did. It was like, okay, now I know this one's not going to do this.
Yeah.
So that's what was hard. You know, you was tough because you just didn't want to do right. But you strengthened me as a parent.
Yeah.
Because you made me recognize like you got to be a parent.
Yeah.
You can't just let them just, go play this sport or let the school system raise them or let somebody else raise them. I had to step up and say, I want them to be successful. And in order for me to do that, how can I do that?
Yeah. And I thought you did a great job evaluating because a lot of times me and bro, we get on to you like, oh, we had it rough. But I think if you hadn't have been so tough on me, the path that I could have taken probably wouldn't have led me to here right now. And then with say Jeremiah, you probably didn't have to be as tough because he was always kind of the school guy, So it's like you did a great job evaluating us and understanding, I got to be tough here. You know what I'm saying? In the absence of a male figure, you know what I'm saying? I got to be tough here because if I don't, then, you know what I'm saying?
And you bring up the absence of a male figure.
Which it wasn't completely absence because we had our grandfather.
I was just going to say, because Granddaddy taught y'all how to do the manly thing.
Yeah.
Like, he had y'all out there.
Yeah.
And that's the country boy. That's where the country come in at.
Yeah,
the fishing, the doing the yard. So you had that part. And I think that's where with Glenn and your grandfather being there in my life as well.
Yeah.
It helped me be able to raise you out, make sure you were tough. Because I felt like giving y'all tough love, I raised y'all the way I felt like I was raised in a whole different world.
Yeah.
This world that y'all were raised in is tough for y'all. It's good and bad if you really think about it.
Yeah.
Because, I raised y'all old school. And it's different. It's very different.
I feel like when I look at me and my brothers, it's like we needed it, and a lot more kids need it because
yes.
although I, ventured off and did some of the things that I did, what I learned at home always brought me back. You know what I'm saying, to being a stand-up guy and being a man. You know what I'm saying,
Right.
And so yeah, we appreciate that for sure. But
For sure. I mean, yeah, y'all 3 gave it to me. Y'all gave it to me. But y'all were different. Y'all still are different.
Yeah.
I look at pictures now and then and I'm like, they're still different. And but I'm blessed.
Yeah. What would you say was the hardest thing about me?
Well, JC, the hardest thing about you was you were you.
Yeah.
No matter, if you got to think, if you really think about it, you were the one, you knew me.
Yeah.
Better than your brothers.
Yeah.
You told them like, hey,
this is how you get over.
How you get over on her. Why are you doing this? Because she, you know what I'm saying? You were that one. You were that kid that analyzed me. And it was crazy because I didn't realize it. But then when I realized it, I didn't do nothing about it. Because, like I raised y'all with we'll be real, the whoopings. But then it got to a point where I was like, I gave you options.
Yeah.
It was no more whoopings. It was, what do you want? You tell me what you did wrong and we're going to address it.
Yeah.
What you gonna do? What you gonna do to fix it? And then what do you want me to do to you?
Yeah.
And y'all had an option. You want a whooping, and that's what made it hard with you. You took the whooping, and
Yeah.
what you used to say, I'll take the whooping because I can still go outside. I could still play my game. So you knew how to get over on me, but you really wasn't never getting over on me.
Yeah.
To be honest, because at the end of the day, you still got discipline.
Yeah.
And that's what made you the person you are.
Yeah, absolutely. So I'm grateful for you. I'm grateful for my upbringing. I know my brothers are as well, because we look out across and see some of our peers and just some of the, I mean, you know, personally, a lot of my people I grew up with are no longer here. You know what I'm
Yes,
saying?
yes.
Or they're doing time, and so uh, it's unfortunate. But had we not had that upbringing, you know what I'm saying, especially me, I could have been one of
Yes.
those people. You know what I'm saying?
Yes, all the way to it. To where I just was like, I wiped my hands with you, and I think that was the moment that made you change.
Yeah,
It's
let's deep dive into that. When you got to the point to where you was like, I remember it to this day. You were like, I'm not gonna whoop you. I'm not gonna. You're not grounded. You were just like, I'm disappointed,
that was my words.
and I'm wiping my hands. What was going through your head at that point?
At that point, I was like, I did everything I can for him.
Mm-hmm.
I've tried every which way. And some in my mind said, you know what? Maybe if you tell him, now you became a disappointment to me.
Mm.
Maybe that'll hit harder than anything you've ever done.
Absolutely.
Because one thing I do know, all three of you I think I'm a superwoman. So I know you've lived your life pleasing me in all kinds of ways. So I knew at that moment, like, maybe if I tell him I'm disappointed in him, because I knew the person you could be.
Yeah.
I seen it. That's why I called y'all kings. I seen it.
Yeah.
Each one of y'all, I'll tell all three of y'all. Each one of y'all got my mind, my soul, and my heart. That's I've always said that.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
so that's what it was it's funny that you brought it up, because I'm like, do you remember the words I said to him? Because I did. I was like, I'm disappointed.
Yeah, that was a pivotal point, because not only did that happen, I think I had just got to a new school, and I had got to fighting that same day at that new
Yes.
school.
Superman.
Yeah, I jumped over. Yeah, they called me Superman. I jumped over a table, like first day at the school,
And you jumped
and
over the table and
and
slid across the lunch table.
that was a crazy story. Just that whole thing, but yeah, I do remember that, and it was a pivotal point to where it's like, okay, I got to do better when I go to this next school, which was West Creek.
Mhm.
I don't think I got in any trouble at West Creek.
You got to think about it.
Yeah,
No, you did. You did.
yeah. I think I straightened
That was
up.
your change.
Yeah, I
That
think
was
after
it.
that, I don't think I got into any more fights or any more major trouble. Yeah, I think everything after that was focused on football and school and trying to, what I'm saying, do right. But again, we appreciate you for what you've done. I'm proud of my brothers. I'm proud of myself,
Yes,
and I'm proud of
yes,
you.
yes.
So let's dive into trucking. So
All right.
anytime I tell somebody, I'll be like, my mom drive trucks. They be like, what? Especially like women. Yeah, my mom drive trucks. What? She can drive trucks? And they be like, semi trucks. So I know growing up, this is something you've always wanted to do, and I'm super proud of you for actually, taking us, not giving up for one,
Yes,
uh,
yes.
because you could have, what I'm saying, Ray, we were grown when you started driving trucks. You could have said, F it, what I'm saying, I'm going to do something else, but you stuck to something that you always wanted to do, which is what I consider Gohard mentality.
Yes.
So let's dive into it.
All right. So I just can't quit smiling. It's deeper than it's deeper than y'all know. The go hard part. If you ask me why I'm so excited about it,
Yeah.
is because some people don't know, and I'm willing to tell my story today if you got time.
Yeah, let's do it.
What pushes me so hard behind that wheel? You know, I made it home today just so I could do this. and I'd rather be on the road. That's sad to say it like that. But what pushes me so hard is my past.
Mm.
Me 19 years ago, May the 6th, I was diagnosed with multiple sclerosis.
Mm.
So the process of getting my CDL was deep because I said, God, if it's for me, you'll have to do it.
Mm.
And I passed the test, and I've been driving for 3 years now, 3.5 years actually.
Yeah.
And that's what pushes me to go so hard behind that wheel every day. Because if I can't say nothing to nobody else, do not allow your illnesses, your family, your friends, your haters, your enemies to tell you what you can't do. Because
Absolutely.
that's my strength every day. When people are asking me how you feel, I feel better driving trucks than I felt my whole life. And I remember that call. I don't remember if it was you, Davion, but one of y'all called me when I was on the road when I first started, and y'all asked me how I felt, and I said, "This is the most peace I've ever had." And I'll be 49 this year. This is the most peace of mind I've ever had in my life, and that's deep. But once I found my peace, I'm gonna let it go because it's a good feeling. It's dangerous if you got questions about it.
Yeah.
It's not. I've seen a lot on the road. So
what's your favorite part about being a trucker? Outside of the peace, of course.
It's a free vacation. No, no, I'm just like, I can see the world.
Yeah.
I actually see the world different. I'm glad you asked me that. Like we've traveled our whole life, but now I actually get to see the world. Just traveling, you just jump on a plane and go to where you're going, get off the plane, go to your destination, get back on the plane. When you're driving, you see so much. I was not right. Route 66 things. Utah. You asked me that question. That's my favorite place. Utah is beautiful.
Yeah.
Like when I go there, I try to FaceTime somebody and say, look, y'all got to see this.
Yeah.
And I think that's what people need to do. They need to get outside of themselves, out of their comfort zone and travel.
And not fly, drive, really drive across the country and see what America has to offer.
And it don't take long. Well, I live in Texas now, so it takes 2 days from one side of Texas to the other. But it don't take long. I mean, if people don't want to fly, they can drive.
I mean, with the pet transport company, we've seen that. We can get from LA to New York in 2-3 days.
2 to 3 days.
But the scenery that you get, the peace of mind that you get, the people that you meet along the way is
it's awesome. Because I've met so many people and they check on me. You know, I got a little app, and people if I'm sitting too long, they hit me up and like, are you okay? You learn that's the favorite thing is the traveling. People always say, Jerry, money. That's the first thing people say to me, truck driving. And I just cringe. It bothers me because I'm like, I'm not in it for the money. Because that's why I say it's a plus to me with my MS, because the pains I used to have all the time, I don't have them no more. You know, I can get on and off the truck, and I get in the trailer. I'm cleaning it out. You know, I'm doing those things.
That's the thing is like, y'all haven't seen my mom. When she first started driving, she would send us videos of what it takes to be a truck driver. And I mean, she out there working. It's not
sitting down driving. It's not sitting down driving. The doors is 200 pounds. To close and open. And just 2 days ago, and I was in the middle of a tornado coming through Little Rock, and the door just won't open. It's like a motorcycle. You gotta let it go. You can't grab it because it'll knock you over because you got 200 pounds. So that's me, y'all. I know I'm the trucker now. I love it, man. I love it. Back to the pet transport. That was a blessing. People ask me about it, and I'm like, it was a ministry. It was more. It was deeper than people like. Oh, you got a business. It's deeper than that. And we didn't. I think I realized that when we forgot where we went that time, might have been Maryland. And I was on the van with you, and I was like, man, this is deeper. These people, we are saving animals.
Yeah.
Me and you, man.
I don't think people, like, when people see us doing it or whatever, they're like, oh, he's just transporting pet from point A to point B and he's making money. But sometimes where I get my fulfillment in it is when I deliver this pet and the joy on the family's faces.
Yes.
It's like, especially that one we did it was actually Odessa, Texas, with the family. Yeah,
the dog, he sung the whole time. He sung. Oh my goodness, he was so pretty. I didn't want to let him go.
Yeah.
But that family, the whole family
was there to receive this dog. And
yes,
I think that's where I get my fulfillment. It's like I actually feel like I'm doing something, and God is allowing us to do it.
Yes.
And I think it's a beautiful thing.
That was a blessing, because I remember I had got hurt on the truck.
Mm-hmm.
And I came home, and that's when we started that bit. We started the pet transport when I got hurt. And I cried. Remember, I cried for 6 weeks. I didn't want to let the truck go. But then a blessing came out of it. So,
and it came at a point, I don't think a lot of people realize, it came at a point where I was lowest in my, I needed it more than it needed me, you know, with all the things that I was going through. And the very first pet that we picked up was a rescue, Carl. You know what I'm saying? I still think about Carl to this day, but it was a rescue. And
it's funny, we can name them. I mean, Elvis. And I forgot the other one that was so sick.
I'm actually going to see Elvis. I got to take a pet up there next week. I'm going to get to see Elvis. So, but yeah, it's just at my lowest, it was like God knew I needed something, some type of fulfillment, and it just all kind of worked out. And we still pushing, still getting after it. So
I left you hanging on the van and went back to the truck, but
it's all right.
You got it.
Little brother stepped in.
He did. He took my place. I had to talk to him a little bit, like, hey, it's gonna be all right. Just get out there and drive.
All right, so now we better have some fun.
All right, let's do this.
All right, so how do you feel about 50-50? You're yeah,
we finna have some real fun. We're gonna get deep now. Okay. 50-50 in a relationship?
Yeah, in a relationship.
I don't believe in 50-50.
Okay. Explain.
All right, my explanation is I got you, you got me. If I cook, you wash dishes. If you cook, I wash dishes. I mean, I feel like it's not 50-50 in nothing. It's like, if I got and you don't have, I got you. But I don't expect anything in return. And that's the part that people are messing up on. It's like, I'm giving with an expectation back. No, just give. If you're giving it from the heart, just give it. So why do you put numbers on something? Because if that's the case, it's like, that's the case, give me 99, I'll give you 1.
Well, that's how I feel nowadays with me dating. It feel like women be like,
you gotta get 99.
I gotta get 99. I get 1.
Oh man, I could talk about that all day long. So let's talk. I feel like I'm gonna get real and I'm gonna get raw with this.
Let's do it.
We have a lot of women, a lot of bitter women raising bitter women. You get it?
Yeah, absolutely.
So it's like you're teaching your daughters to look for a specific man for a specific amount versus teaching them to that list that you have that same list for yourself. You're expecting so much from this guy. Like, for instance, if somebody, just the other day, somebody said, if I take you to McDonald's, how would you feel? Okay, well, give me a number 1 meal. Oh, you don't have to have the steak, the lobster, and all that? Nah, because we got mortgages to pay. I like to travel. I got a passport. So if my meal is $10, but you want to give me a $300 meal, baby, that $290 can go on a trip for me.
Yeah.
I mean, that's just how I look at life.
Yeah.
But I am a little older, but I can't even say that because that's just the new generation.
I think,
and it makes it hard for people like me.
I'm gonna piggyback off the bitter mothers. I think a lot of mothers aren't teaching their daughters how to bring value to a man. So a lot of women I meet, it's like, and I'm gonna be raw and real with you, is you only got one thing to offer. And while I enjoy that, I also, if you want to be around longer than just that, what value are you gonna bring
Know your worth.
to me, my purpose, and where I'm trying to go? Because if you're not bringing any value to that, then I don't want you around for the long term. I don't want you around my family and none of that, because you're baggage. You know what I'm saying? I don't think a lot of women realize that they are not bringing value to men as much as they think they are.
Well,
Let
you
me
have to
say this
realize the
correctly.
value that they bring, if that's all they have to offer,
Yeah,
is because that's all they've been taught to offer.
yeah,
Remember,
that's
I
what I'm
said
saying. Yeah,
earlier, the first 5 years of a child's life can determine their future. What they see is who they become. If you've seen this is all that your mom has did or carried herself in that way,
yeah.
then what are you going to learn? I
But
had
I
to,
think
and
in the day of technology and all this
social media,
stuff that's going, I think like women, you would think, I'm speaking of women my age,
right?
you would think that they would be like, okay, you know what I'm saying? In order for me to get a man and bring value to a man, I need to do X, Y, and Z. In order for me
But
to
are they
find
looking for a man?
that's another good question, because I don't think I think they looking for a good time, because they,
Because the thing about it is, it's like everybody has their definition of what a man is.
absolutely,
The type of women you may be speaking of think a man is just supposed to, they just got to look cute, be, like this, and a man is just going to throw money at them. You see what I'm saying?
and I think that's the age we're in, because what I was taught what a man was, be able to provide, protect,
Right.
and fix things, and we shouldn't have to go outside his house for nothing that we need. Uh, but what I see, the men that's getting most of the women, they don't know how to change a tire. They don't know how to barely have a job. And it's like, okay. So I sit back and it's like, okay.
And
But
what do you think is happening in my generation?
Yeah. Yeah, so we have our talks, yeah.
We having it. We're getting real right now. Because, I mean, it's all about, because some people look at me like that. They're like, what, you want me to know how to do these things?
Yeah.
I'm like, well, that's a man to me.
Yeah.
So I got to dummy myself down and you ain't got to do nothing. Like, I can be cute all day long, but behind that wheel,
Yeah.
I'm going to get dirty.
Yeah.
So I need you to be dirty as well.
At least know how to change a tire.
You know what I'm saying? I ain't trying to hear that AAA and I got I need to know that you know how to, I need to know that you really don't get out here and get dirty.
Get dirty, change.
Show me something
I need you to change the oil.
Change the oil.
Yeah.
Even do you even know where to put an oil pan at? That's the stuff I'm talking about. Like, I can go buy the oil pan for you. I even buy the oil. Do you know how to get up under there and do it?
Yeah.
And so it's not just your generation, it's just the fact that we're in that world of 80-20. I hate the 80-20 rule.
Here you go.
But it's right.
80-20.
The 80-20, I had to bring it to you. The 80-20.
Yeah.
I told you before, I think I'm just a 20 because the 80s is winning. And then we laughed about it. Because I feel honestly like I'm a 110% woman. But I'm losing to 20s that can't cook, ain't cleaning, ain't take care of the kids. And they just,
I'm gonna tell you why.
all right, break
And
it
this
down.
is coming from a man's perspective.
All right.
Right now in this day and age, it's so easy. Men, we always look for peace, right? It's so easy to go sleep with women and then not have to deal with them again. So for most men, it's like most of the women that we've dealt with in the past have brought us nothing but problems, heartache, and stuff like this. So when we get to a point, it's like, well, it's easy to sleep with her. It's easy to sleep with her, and I ain't gotta have no dealings attached. You know what I'm saying? And it makes life simple. I mean, for me, it's like, you know what I'm saying?
I know what you're saying.
I'm at the point to where I'm like, do I even want to get in a relationship again?
Right.
Because I'm watching guys go through 20-year marriages, get divorces, and lose everything. Even my divorce wasn't the best, you know what I'm
Right.
saying? And so it's like I think that's where women messed up. If y'all collectively came together and was like, we're not giving no cootie cat up until, you know what I'm saying, until they put a ring on us.
But
Then
that's the ones that's losing.
But that's what I'm saying. You would have to do it collectively.
It's not gonna
You can't
happen.
you can't want a ring, but then they over here giving it out for free. Cause we finna go get the free and go back to our.
So that's why I said. So then women have to get to, like I said, I got to become a 20 and give it out for free.
I ain't saying that.
What are you saying?
I ain't saying that, but I'm just saying, like,
what are you saying? Because that's what you're saying.
I think women need to start talking, having real talks with each other.
Women have to know their worth.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
Period.
Yeah.
No matter what age it is, you
Yeah.
have to know your worth. I mean, we can laugh. We talk about this. We have all kinds of conversations, and that's why I'm glad this forum has opened up for us.
Yeah.
Because people need to hear the real. They need to know that they can sit down with their mom or sit down with their child and break down, things like this. They need to know this, that it's okay.
Yeah.
Because I wouldn't have it no other way. I wouldn't have, y'all can go talk to your friends and this and that. But I feel very good and comfortable because all three of y'all come to me and talk to me about stuff. And I'm very open. I'm very transparent. I'm very honest.
Yeah.
If I ain't got the answer, we both come up with the answer together. Yeah. But in the reality of it, women got to know their worth.
Yeah.
It's not hard. I've had somebody tell me one time, don't change, Luana. Yours is going to come to you.
Yeah, absolutely.
But when, Jerry?
It's that diamond in the rough, man.
It's diamond, but I mean, I'm not rushing anything. Life just has its way.
Yeah, I just feel like it's been such a shift in the relationship dynamic where it's tough. You know what I'm saying?
Well, I mean, you got to look at it like men that have their stuff together, they're scared.
Yeah, for sure.
So it's like I'm scared to take a chance with this one. Everything looks like it's checked out good, but
because we done seen this before, we done seen this exact script before, and it's like, I'd rather go over here.
I ain't worried about nothing. But it's hard. It's sad because I'm sure I done lost some good ones.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, I ain't crying about it.
Yeah.
Is they lost, you know what I'm saying? But yeah. What else you got? You coming rough with me today. I like that though.
No, we just talk. This how we talk. So
yeah, I know.
The movie Sinners.
Oh man, let's talk about Sinners. Yes. Oh my goodness, I gotta see it again.
Yeah. I think we're gonna go tomorrow. I ain't gonna lie.
All right, I'm ready.
We're gonna go
I got a couple days. I can hang out with you.
But all right, the movie Sinners. What did you enjoy it?
I loved it.
Yeah.
It had so many messages to it. You don't like me saying woke, so I was awakened. And the people that wasn't awakened, go back and see it again because it had a lot of messages. I'm so tired of hearing people talk about vampires because it was deeper than that.
Mm-hmm.
Very much deeper than that. So deep. I can go so deep with that. You know what? Though, and we discussed it. The main thing, what did you say? That people really forgot it, didn't really catch on the movie.
About the Indians.
The Indians. Yeah. They came to save.
They did. They came to save. And it was such a small piece in the movie that if you really wasn't tapped in, you was gonna miss it.
If you weren't awakened. Yeah. No, I'm gonna quit saying that, but yeah, because I didn't miss it, but I missed it. I was in tune with the whole movie, but that little part, I was like, that I missed, and I was like, yep, because that little piece,
it kind of shaped the movie. It did, because if they would have listened, then there would have been no movie.
Yeah.
So it kind of, that was kind of like a key piece. That was a key piece in the movie, and I think it was a very good touch to it.
It was. It was. Yes, I've been telling so many people to go see it.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, he did his thing. His birthday was the 23rd, 2 days ago too. Cool.
That's one of the movies you're gonna have to in like 10 years go back and show the grandkids and be
oh yeah, definitely. I want to get that. I want to get that one and put it in the in there with the rest of the movies I got. But yeah, that's definitely a good movie. He did so good with it.
Yeah.
Man, I said I've never seen a movie go so fast but so slow.
Yeah.
But touch on everything. Like you couldn't usually, Jerry, when I'm watching TV, I'm on my phone, I'm doing everything else, playing games. I sat in that movie theater and my phone was ringing and everything. I watched the whole movie.
I'm gonna tell you about my experience because
what's your experience?
You was unbothered watching the movie. So we went to this movie theater, and she was excited about it, and so I'm not gonna take that away from her. But we get there and the seats. So I don't know what it's called. It's an IMAX 4 something theater, and I felt like I was on a roller coaster the entire movie. It's squirting water. It's punching me in my back. We're going left and right, and I'm sitting there thinking, I can't even watch the movie. Like I was able to catch a certain glimpse, but every time you heard that, you knew you was going to get thrown somewhere. You know what I'm saying? It was a cool experience, but
it's called a 4D.
4D, yeah. And so I done got squirted with water.
You went on a whole roller coaster watching the movie.
And you know I'm small, so the seat I done almost flew off the seat. She over there talking about, you okay? My back hurting. You know what I'm saying? But no, it was cool. It was a cool experience. Like it was a good movie. But I do gotta go see it again. I know y'all might want to do the 4D, but
yeah, I want to try it. I want to go on the roller coaster.
I'll be ready.
I'm adventurous. I like trying stuff. Yeah. I think I'm young anyway, so I think I have fun. But you know what? But that's the thing about being in Texas, man.
Let's talk about that. So yeah, you done relocated to Houston, Texas, and then now it seems like the family starting to migrate here. So you might have started something big unintentionally. So let's talk about the move to Texas. What brought you to Houston, Texas?
Wow, what brought me to Texas? I had a list. I knew I wouldn't come back to Tennessee.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah. But I think, I don't know if it was you, but we talked about a clock.
Yeah.
When you watching the clock, it's going so slow.
Mm-hmm.
And you don't know, you're like, I'm waiting. And I felt like for years and years between Davion, you, Jeremiah, I always was like, I gotta leave Tennessee. Mm-hmm. I've been saying it for years.
Yeah.
So when I got behind the wheel of the truck, and I lived on the truck, 100%. Y'all was like, why you ain't coming to visit?
Nah, it ain't no just why you ain't coming to visit. She driving by us, not stopping.
And telling y'all, I don't come to Tennessee.
I'm not coming to Tennessee. I'm looking on the app. Mama, you right. And I lived off the exit at the time. Mama, you right. Going right by me.
I can't stop though. I couldn't stop. But back on track of the reason I moved. I had options. I was like, I'm not going back to Tennessee. Where I'm gonna go? Texas was at the bottom of my list. And true story, I was at a Walmart in Missouri, and I was talking to a lady, and I was like, I want to move. I want to leave Tennessee. I just don't know where to go. And she told me she had moved from Jersey to Missouri. And she said, you'll know where God wants you to be. Be patient. And I was like, when you on the truck, you're a truck driver, you've been fast. I'm like, that's like crazy. All right, whatever. That ain't what I want to hear right now. Yeah. I wanted a story, but she didn't give me one. That's the only thing she gave me. But anyway, long story short, for some reason I kept getting loads to Texas. And every person I met was nice. I'm talking, I was in a restaurant and they was like, come sit over here with me. I'm like, I'm gonna get cut when I leave, what I'm gonna do to me when I leave up out of here. Yeah. And I sat at the table with them, and usually, you talk about me. I'm surprised I ain't got it tonight. I usually have my headset on. And they asked me, was I a truck driver? And I was like, uh-oh. Do I say yes or no? That's a big thing about it, being a truck driver. You gotta be careful.
Yeah.
So I was like, yeah, I'm a truck driver. And they was like, where you from? Da 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 da. And meeting their people and then continuous. I went to San Antonio to the Riverwalk one time, and oh my God, it's beautiful. It's nice. It's very nice down there. And the people was like, people bump into you. They, oh, I'm sorry, baby, and I'm like, what?
Yeah.
You ain't used to that. I'm not used to that. Tennessee don't give you that. I don't care what people say. You don't get it. You go to clubs and stuff in Houston, they talking to you.
Mm-hmm.
They're very nice. There's no who is that, where they from. They don't look at you different here.
Yeah.
The hospitality, no matter where you live, no matter where you go. But I was like, I'm coming to Texas. And I didn't know where I was going. I was like, whoever, while I'm on this truck, let me put the application in and send everything in over the phone, do everything online.
Mm-hmm.
That's where I'm going to go. And I ended up where I'm at now, and I love it.
Yeah, I ain't gonna lie.
I love it. I love it. People be like, I'm coming out there. I'm like, yeah, you ain't coming. Don't be scared. That's the thing. People are so afraid to make a change. But change is good.
Absolutely.
My health is on point. Like, God, thank you. I mean, people don't understand when you're stressed and it affects your whole body. When people say they got aches and pains because of the weather, no, you stressing because you can't get out the house or something. It ain't the weather.
Yeah.
You hurting because you're sitting here and it's called sin sick is what it's called. You tell yourself all the time, oh, if it rains tomorrow, this bone gonna hurt. I say it's gonna rain tomorrow. It's just gonna rain.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? Your mind, you got to change your mind frame.
That's crazy because I think we grow up hearing the older folks say that, and it just becomes so natural. And we forget that we're actually young. We can still move around and still go and do. And the old folks are saying that because they're not moving as fast as we are. So they going to ache.
Yeah, they're
Rain,
gonna make
snow.
Yeah, no matter what it is, they aching. They wake up in the morning aching, but they get up.
Yeah. Especially like my grandparents, your parents. I don't care what nobody say. One thing about them is every single day they get up and move
every day.
Every day.
I remember one time I was there. It's like 4:00 in the morning. I'm like, they in there talking. Mama cooking something on the, she cooking breakfast. They drinking their coffee. They watch the news. They talk about what's going on, and then they get out the house.
And they gone.
And I tell people that. They're like, oh, you're so youthful. And I'm like, between my kids, I said, but y'all don't understand. I come from a bloodline. My parents 80-some years old, and they getting up. The one thing my pop saw me was, you might have a pain, but you better walk through that pain.
Yeah.
And it's crazy because I used to say it to you, and that's where I got it from. When you got hurt on the football field.
We see. We talked about tough love earlier. We're going to dive into this right here. I'm on the football field.
Yes, Lord.
Then got hit. Mind you, I'm always the smallest kid. I didn't get hit. I'm laid out. Knocked out. I'm like, I say about 5, 6 years old or something.
You was 5.
Mama, all I hear is my mom, you better get up. You better get. I'm on the field. I'm jumping. I'm all these different things. And she yelling.
Get up and walk it off.
But it made me strong though. And so, I appreciate it. At the time I didn't, but
no, you didn't appreciate it then. You didn't want to get up and try again, but you got up.
Yeah.
Because you have to.
And I think that's where that Gohard mentality comes from. It's like being knocked down so many times to the point to where I didn't even feel like I could go on with life.
Mm-hmm.
But then reverting back to you, like, you got knocked down, but you finna get up.
You don't stay down long.
And that's where that, so you Momma Gohard, because that's where it comes from, you know what I'm saying? That Gohard mentality is, no matter how many times you get knocked down, as long as you can breathe, walk, talk, you can still make something happen. You know what I'm saying? No matter what your age is, no matter what your race is, you can make something happen.
Yes. With everything.
Yeah.
If you don't want to, if you don't, one thing I used to tell all y'all when y'all was little was figure out what you want to do. You ain't gonna listen to me, so I know you ain't gonna listen to nobody at no job. Yeah. So figure it out. And that's one thing I would love, like, I could talk to you all night about this because it's weighing on me that we have businesses out here. And we could easily come together and go to these schools and teach skills. See, they don't teach skills no more in schools like they did back in my day. But take your it's okay to be making money out here and you big business people, but take that if you a chef, if you got a restaurant, give a class. Somebody out here want to learn how to cook.
Absolutely.
And that's some things that I think about, I pray about, and it weighs on me right now a lot while I'm on the road. On the road, that's all I do is think. And I believe that these businesses need to start coming together and saying, look, we got kids out here. We want to start building entrepreneurs. It's okay to have the athletes. It's okay to have the truck drivers because everybody think we millionaires out here and athletes billionaires. Now, you hear all that mentality, but there's other things that we can do that can actually, teach entrepreneurship. Y'all became entrepreneurs because y'all said y'all watched me. I didn't realize y'all was really watching me like that when y'all was growing up.
Yeah.
But y'all really watching me, and I look at y'all, I listen to y'all now when y'all growing. I'm like, they was really watching some stuff. Okay.
But to piggyback off what you're saying, if we really came together as a community like we did for Carmelo Anthony, it's a kid that right now that has an amazing idea, invention, or something that could really benefit the community. If we can raise, and I'm for Carmelo. I really hope that
100%.
he beats his case and proves that we can defend ourselves in the event that someone yeah. But if we can raise $500,000 for him and his legal fees as a community, then we should be able to raise $500,000 for that kid that has an idea, that kid that's talented, the kid that can really do something positive for the community. I feel like he should be able to throw a GoFundMe up and say, I need to raise $100,000 for donations to build this company.
But all it takes is not just businesses, but businesses. You have businesses, you have athletes, you have professional athletes, you have artists, you have people that's really big, has the money. But then you have these little businesses that can say, if we can get 10 businesses to give 1,000 and put it in an account. And then you sit here because there's so many, I talk to so many people's kids. Kids just follow me for some reason.
Yeah.
They just talk to me. And I always ask them when they little, like, and parents need to start doing that. When they're little, ask them, what do you want to be? Remember, I knocked your brother's little idea out when he was little, crushed his little dream, but it's all good.
He living his dream. He wanted to be an astronaut.
And he is definitely an astronaut. He's flying. I always told y'all the sky's the limit, and he is definitely flying. But you see what I'm saying?
Yeah, and allow them to grow in, like you allowed us to grow into what we wanted to be. You never pressured us into college. You never pressured us to make anything that we wanted to do. You said, I'm supporting you. Go make it happen. Whether we fail, well, you never really let us like fail, but it was like,
I'll let y'all get so close.
Yeah, I'm gonna let you try it. And then once I see you going off the edge, I'm gonna reel you back in and then put you back on the right track. And I think more parents should do that. Allow your kid. I think we would have a lot of great inventions, a lot of great business if parents just said, "Hey, kid," said to their children, "Hey, be you, and let me support whatever you want to be."
And that's the thing. Somebody asked me that the other day. They was like, "You support your kids no matter what?" I was like, "Yes." Even though I might want you to do one thing, But I knew as a mom, there's a difference. There's a difference between a mother and a mom. As a mom, I knew if I allow you to be who you want to be, you're going to succeed.
Absolutely.
That's why people ask me, what you get for Mother's Day? What you get for your birthday? Everybody be out here all gifted up. And they look at me when I always say, my kids are successful. They give me that. I didn't bring y'all up on gifts and all of that.
Yeah.
I brought y'all up on love, genuine love. I'm going to love you whether you give or not.
Yeah.
I'm going to love you whether you disappoint me or not. And that's what they're not that's what kids are not getting raised on. And then when parents say, why is my child disrespecting me? Because they're searching for that closeness, that togetherness. They're searching for that. Are you really sitting here? Are you sitting here saying, I wanted you to do this, so you disappointed me? Or are you sitting here listening to them say, this is who I am, this is who I want to be? Accept it. That's why so many kids go astray. And then you can see them and they be like, how your mama doing? And they like,
yeah.
Because that parent was so, I want you to be, you got to walk like this, you got to talk like this, you got to look like this, or else.
That's deep. That's deep. But yeah, again, I appreciate it because I know I'm stubborn and I'm super stubborn. But even down to joining the military, you know what I'm saying? You allowed me to go do that. And yeah.
After I got tricked.
So we gotta tell that story. So look, and then we're gonna wrap it up. I think we getting over on time, but so I was supposed to go play college football and join the Army Reserves. But I go into the recruiter's office and he's showing me girls, he's showing me cars sitting on 26s and these shoes he got. He talked me into it, right? So I call my mom. I don't tell her what's going on. I'm like, hey, I need you to come up because I'm 17. I need you to come up and sign the papers and then we good to go. So mom, she cool. She right across the street at the mall, you know what I'm saying? So she comes up, I leave, I dip because what she don't know is the recruiter finna tell her that I'm going active duty. And so she gets there. I assume the recruiter was like, hey, so we got the contract. He's going active duty. He signed for 4 + 4, making 8 years. So she leaves. Recruiter calls me and say, hey, I need you to come back. So I'm like, all right, cool. I go back up there. He was like, bro, your mom came in here and just cussed me out. And yeah, it was all truth. Yeah. I'll let you tell when you walked into the recruiter's office, what happened?
What happened was I walked in there, I was smiling as always. Yeah. I'm like, okay, what I gotta sign? And he was just, oh, your son. I'm like, okay. And I looked at the paper and I said, active duty? Nah, this ain't what, nah, that's not. And he was like, yeah. And I lost it. I did. So yeah, I snapped on him. I told him, you sit here, you tell him all these lies, and then I paused and I was like, where's Jerry? And I called you. I'm like, is this what you want to do?
Yeah.
And you was like, yes, ma'am, that's what I want to do. I said, well, I got to call your dad and figure this out. I said, but I'm going to sign.
Yeah.
And because I knew that at that moment, you were doing something you wanted to do. And I knew you was going to succeed at it. But remember, while you was in basic, you did get the letter you were waiting on. And I told you, I said, had you been patient and waited, you would have got to go to the school and got all of that. But you didn't be patient. But it wasn't meant to happen like that. Yeah. Because you played semi-pro and everything. So it's not like
if I'd have went to college, I ain't gonna lie, mama.
You wouldn't have made it. Nah. So I feel like you did what was right. But we're gonna continue this. Yeah. Because I enjoy this.
I think we could talk all night about everything.
Because we do. This is what we do. This is actually what my son does. Wait, hold up. I gotta say this, then we're gonna end it. This is what they do sometimes. Because Davion and Jerry, when I'm on that road, I have to say, can you talk? Because I need to talk. And then, but Jeremiah, he always let me talk. But this is what I do when I'm on the road.
Yeah. So that's it, Mama. I truly appreciate you being the first guest of Gohard Mentality Podcast. And again, we're going to continue this, and I really hope it blossoms into something way bigger than
most definitely
than we can ever imagine. But you officially have that Gohard mentality, and again, I appreciate you for how you raised me and my brothers. I appreciate you for everything that you do still currently today, and then we're gonna end it on that.
Sounds good.
Let's do it.
All right.